Hey there guys, what's up? Welcome back to Project Metal Chalk. Uh, so yesterday, uh, in a video, I said, that I would have a friend coming over today to help me out with some stuff, or whenever I posted that video, I remember saying that I was gonna have a friend come over to help me with some things, but as you can obviously tell from my sniffling, I'm sick, so we had to cancel it because I've got a really bad sinus infection, and I'm pretty sure I was running a fever last night, so just to be safe, we decided to cancel it. And it might be next weekend before we can get together and do the things that we're gonna do. But despite me being sick, I still decided. What was that? Okay, I think that was just the sun. Yeah. Oh, alright, that was just the sun. That was really weird. Anyway, so despite me being sick, I decided I have to film a video today because I've been doing a lot of stuff in this world, and it's gonna be open soon to the public, I hope. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So nothing has changed up here in the control tower. Everything's still the same. But down here, whew, my throat. I'm trying to talk as quietly as possible because I've got a sore throat. But anyway, down here I have a to-do list now for me, and I have 3 things I gotta do right now, which is make a tracking device, and a portable storage drone, and design an explorer class ship. So I'll do that at some point today or the next day I get online or whenever. But so that's part 1 of the changes. Part 2 of the changes is the landing pad has been updated to now have cover that comes out from the landing pad. If like a shootout ever broke out on the landing pad, you can deploy this cover. And because I have the energy shield mod, the cover it takes a really long time to actually damage any of the cover. And I actually put one over here in front of this so that if a shootout does happen, this area will not be harmed, or you can't like hide in it or whatever, because I'd appreciate it very much so that space battles do not happen inside of the bases. But the reason I didn't put one over there is because, you see, what happened over here was when I placed this block, the entire thing just kind of floated away, and it took about 5 to 10, I believe it was like 7 minutes to actually get it reconnected to the base. So now I had to use merge blocks and blueprints and all this crazy stuff, and now I've got it connected under here so that it won't float away. Because this block you can't have it connected to. So that's why I haven't put another one in front of other doors, because I don't want them to float away either. So if you're going to use this landing pad, be very careful of where you land so that you don't land on top of one of these and a shootout happens and it starts coming up and your ship just gets obliterated because you landed on top of the cover. So that's the second change. And the third change is I did say I was going to add a second hangar that was public, and I did add a second hangar, but this one is not public either. This is a maintenance hangar for ships that take care of the base or defense and all that crazy stuff. So this one is actually not public either. I will have a public hangar eventually, maybe, I don't know. I may just expand the landing pad instead, because the landing pad's kind of, I mean, I don't really need a hangar, right? A public hangar, it sounds like a good idea, a cool idea, but in reality, we'll just keep the landing pad, I guess. I don't know. I'm considering making a public hangar. I just haven't officially chosen to do it yet. So, I guess we should go ahead and look at the stuff that I did today. And I actually have a few more ship designs. So last time I had, I think, 5 ships that were actually, like, finished. And today I've been working practically all day since I got up at 11 or 12 o'clock because I slept late because I was sick. But I've been working all day since then. Right now it's 6:05 p.m. November 3rd, 2017, and I've been working all day. So let's go ahead and look at the things that I've done today. So the first one we have here, these are not in chronological order, by the way. These are just, I'm just going down the list from, but they're not from like which one I made first and blah 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 blah. Alright, so let's go ahead and spawn this one in. So this here is the J&K Astrolink Defender, and what I mean by Astrolink is I kind of want to have, like, I don't know, I really don't know how to explain it, but Astrolink just sounded like a cool name for some kind of like energy source or like something that happens when the pilot connects to the ship. I really don't know, I just thought it sounded cool and I'm gonna make up a story for it or something later. But anyway, so what this is this is literally, this is not for sale. This ship design is for the J&K only. It's mass produced, and it's in all J&K installments as a defense ship for to defend the base in case of attacks. So it is not for sale, but I do have some defenders coming out soon that will be for sale. I'm sorry, I can't talk. It's one of those days. But anyway, so what this is it's a large storage container encased in blocks and armor with some thrusters. It's got 3 landing gear on the bottom. It has 2 little reactors, and it does have some gyros in there somewhere. I just don't remember where I put them. And then it has some thrusters on the front too, and it's got 4 guns. And the conveyor system I added because it looked cool, but I don't actually know how to use conveyors very well. So that's for people that understand them and use it in survival. Or if I ever use it in survival and actually need it. But anyway, so here's what it does. It has 2 spotlights, very bright spotlights. And then the guns, all 4 fire at the same time, and they're really effective. This is not a fairly fast ship. It was pretty much just designed to stay around the base and defend as needed. It's very smooth, it has good maneuverability, so I'm proud of it. I like it. And I actually have one in that maintenance hangar over there that I showed you guys earlier. I have one over there just sitting in the hangar for now. What is the red? Mining carriage. So the next ship, we already did that one the other day. So the next one would be this one. And this one I literally did not have a purpose for making. To be entirely honest, I just made it because I was bored and remember seeing a really cool ship that was like round, and I was like, hey, I want to make a round ship. So I made a fun time round ship. And it has literally no purpose to it. I kind of just made it for fun. But it is J&K property still. But here, I guess you could use it as like a party ship. And it has cameras because you can't put windows on small ships, and I wanted it to be as round as possible. So it does have cameras. It's got one on the front, one on the side, one on the back, one on the other side, and that's because I have an antenna, so it's connected to that. But here's why it's so much fun. It has party lights. It's got great maneuverability. It moves really easily. It's not very big, so it's not going to get stuck places. And then you can turn the lights off when you're done. So that's literally it. It's just a circle. A circle made for fun. Okay. My throat is killing me. I'm gonna have to tone down the talking a little bit. So next up is the grinder. And this is not not really like my finalized design. I haven't officially like I don't know if I want to keep it this way or not, because it works, but it's not really effective like I want it to be. Let me just show you guys. So when you're in the cockpit, you can't really see very well because there's this thing in front of you, and I wanted it that way because it looked interesting and it was a unique design, and I decided to put a camera on the front instead, which will help with projects and grinding, because this is the grinder version. But all of the basic components are right here inside. You got your reactor, and then you have your antenna and your 3 gyros for maneuverability. But other than that, it's pretty open. But because I am a junk keep corporation, I had to keep it junked down. It has to play its part. But I'm still not sure if it's going to be effective. While it does have to look like it came out of a junkyard, it still needs to be effective. So the grinder does work. The only problem is the camera can't actually see like how long it is the only problem, but you can hear it, you know it works, and it's obviously right above the camera's view. So I still don't know if I really want to keep it this way or not. I may have to redesign it. Same for the welder version as well, because it's the same ship, but instead of a grinder on the front, it has a welder on the front, and the welder you can actually see at the top there. You see that red blinking stuff? That's the welder coming on and off. So you can actually see the welder through this version of the ship. But overall, both of them do have fairly well maneuverability for their size and their type of ship. I mean, you're really not going to go long distances with this thing, so I didn't really put a lot of things on it. But it does work. It runs pretty well. I just don't know if I like the design or not, or how effective it's going to be. Excuse me. So next is the Gyro Fighter, and there's a really specific reason why I named it the Gyro Fighter. So on the outside, you see we have 6 guns and a missile launcher, or rocket launcher, technically. And we've got our thrusters here. We've got our antenna on the front. It has 3 landing gear. And we've got tons of thrusters on the back and 2 large thrusters. I don't typically mess around with large thrusters very much. And then under all of this is a bunch of reactors and 9 gyros. And now you know why it's called the Gyro Fighter, because just look at this thing. I mean, this is crazy. The maneuverability is insane. You can do so much with this. It'll be so easy to evade attacks and just like get out of the way if you had to. And because it goes so fast, it's a perfect starfighter. Now it does not stop very fast, unfortunately, so be very careful when you're flying this thing. But let me actually turn this way and show you guys the guns. So here's what all 6 guns are like. There is a slight bit of recoil, but not enough to actually cause any damage or do anything. Excuse me. I have food next to me, and I haven't eaten yet because I don't want to. I'm just not exactly hungry, but I need to eat something, so I'll eat after this video. But anyway, the second part is the rocket launcher, which if you just press 2 once, it'll fire 1 time. It doesn't like stay on or anything. Actually, we can shoot this rocket. Yeah, it doesn't really do an explosion effect for some reason because it's a little glitchy, but it does work. And it's a very effective starfighter. Very effective starfighter. And next would be the personal shuttle, which I don't know if I actually am gonna sell this one yet because it really doesn't have a purpose. It's more like it's just a shuttle, but I'm probably gonna sell it. It's got a pretty basic design. It's got tons of reactors inside of each box, and it has 3 gyros on each side. So it's got 3 there, and then it has 3 there in the middle. And so that's 6 gyros. Then it's got a spotlight here, it's got its antenna, it's got a cockpit, 4 landing gear, and 2 guns on top, as well as having lots of thrusters. So this is obviously not survival ready. Actually, it probably would be pretty good for survival, but the guns would not because they have no ammo connection. Actually, a lot of my ships are not really survival ready, so I'm still working on the whole survival thing because I never really played in survival. But anyway, so here's the spotlight, which does work pretty good, despite being inside of a tiny box. And then the guns fire fairly well as well, and it has great maneuverability. It's fast, and it has an equal amount of thrust on each side, so there's not like 9 in the back and 6 on the front thrusters. So it stops about the same time it takes for it to go to speed up or accelerate. So that's, oops, wrong button. That is, that's that. And next is this thing. So this one is actually where I got the idea to make the gyro fighter, because I originally added 9 gyros to this thing, not knowing it would make it so maneuverable. I mean, it's not, actually yeah it is, it's crazy. I may have to tone down on the gyros because it's supposed to be a miner, and if you do that in the middle of a cave, you're done for. You're gonna blow up. But it has 2 yellow spotlights with 3 very loud drills that do work pretty effectively. Let's test it out here real fast. So it does work. My only concern is my only real concern is the gyro effect that it has. I don't know if I want to keep it that way or not, because it's just so quick on its turning actions that it's like, if you do that in a cave, it's gonna hit something and blow up. Or if you're in the middle of mining and you accidentally sneeze and jerk your mouse, it's also going to blow up and cause quite a few problems as well, possibly killing you in the process in survival mode. But it does have 2 medium storage containers, one on each side of the cockpit, that you can access here and here, and actually those are the only 2 access points. It's got an antenna, it's got thrusters on the front, it's got 3 drills that you can access on the sides, it's got 2 spotlights, a fair amount of thrusters and reactors, and then it has 4 landing gear on the bottom. So it's a good mining ship. And I actually think that was all of the things I did today. Other than go through and rename them all so that they had J and K in front of them. Yep. Okay, I'm sorry I was gone for a few seconds. Someone came, knocked on the door, and needed to tell me something very important. But I'm back now. So that's all the ships that I did today, it looks like. I do have the skimmer, but that's technically not J and K property. That's just something I made because I was bored and needed something to get around the base, or the map with, the world. So I don't really have. I could actually delete that now. That's all I have for today with ship designs and the base upgrades. So this is not as long as a video that I make would normally be, but I just needed to get this out there and this world should be publicly released soon. I hope I can trust people enough to put this world on public mode without things getting deleted or destroyed. I've got tons of backups of this world in case it does happen though, but I'd prefer it not to happen because I can just keep the original thread and use that to upgrade on and blah 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 blah. But I do have multiple backups of this world in case it ever happens. Because, you know, there's always that one person that's a griefer and completely destroys everything you own. And just deletes it to be funny. But it's not funny. So don't do it. Anyway. Let's, but, wait a minute. I think I forgot something, actually. Yes, I did. So the way you actually get into the other hangar, besides the hangar doors, is this. So this is a maintenance tunnel mod that I found, and it's really helpful. So it's basically just like a little tunnel for maintenance to go places. You can put them inside your ship and use it to travel throughout the ship, like just a basic maintenance tunnel. I mean, there's really no other way to describe it, but I used it because it was cool, and it's a cooler way to get inside this hangar. So this is the inside of the maintenance hangar. It does have a lot of lights because it's big, but it still doesn't light the whole room. And then the gravity actually cuts off right about here where I parked the Defender. So if you're walking around and you just decide to jump, be very careful because you're gonna fly away. And if you get out of ships, like let's see, if you do this and you turn off your jetpack, and then you decide to get out of your ship, you're stuck unless you turn on your jetpack. But if you don't have any hydrogen, then you're really just stuck until someone comes to get you. So be careful when walking on this side of the base with no gravity. And one thing I do in my hangars is I park ships on the walls and the ceilings to make as much room as possible in the hangar to park as many ships as I need. So please be aware of that whenever this world goes public, that there will be things on the walls and the ceiling inside of hangars. If I make a public hangar, and I'm probably not going to park anything inside of the public hangar, but if I do authorize access for you to come into one of these two hangars, there will most likely be things on the walls and ceilings, so be careful where you walk, or just so you don't get stuck and blah 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 blah. And I actually have to find the spot where I can click on this ring thing to open the door, which is a little annoying because this is actually an access point to access the control panel, but it is a little annoying. You have to click on the ring and not the doors. But I just like it too much to not use it. So anyway, that is all I have for you guys today. Pretty much. So I'm gonna go ahead and go because my throat is hurting pretty dang bad right now, and I should probably stop talking so that it'll heal. So if you enjoyed today's video, that's the wrong button. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments about today's video, please leave them in the comment box below, or would like to suggest ideas for future videos, or would like to suggest ideas for new ship designs for me to kind of work with in this world, please let me know, because that'd be greatly appreciated. So I'm gonna go ahead and go. Hope you guys have a good day / night wherever you are located in the world, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.